was definitely the happiest I think I've seen him ever. I always said from the beginning, I'm like, is he really running? Like, does he truly want to do this, or is his wife or somebody pushing him to do it? Because he just seemed awkward every step of the way. It was the most cringiest, awkward campaign I've ever witnessed in my life. If he ever runs again, like in 2028, he needs to just fire everybody, not include anyone on that campaign team, a completely fresh slate. Because they ran one of the worst campaigns I've ever witnessed in my life. They what did they do? 4 or 5 reboots. They started out saying, hey, Trump is great and all that, but look, we just want a different alternative. And then it was like, well, look, even though Trump was great, we disagree with him on a few things. And then it was just like, all right, we hate Trump, he sucks. It's like they kept changing their tone. They're like, how do we do this? How do we beat Trump? Do we compliment him? All right, that's not really working. Do we insult him? All right, that's not working either. Because most voters, Republican voters, see Trump as an incumbent. They see, they feel, and I'm one of them, feel cheated out of an election. That we truly believe Trump won with all the evidence we've had, sworn affidavits. Even if you don't want to count the ballots and the machines and all, just look at the Hunter Biden laptop. Where I think it was like 17% of Biden voters said they would not have voted for Trump, or would not have voted for Biden if they knew about the laptop. And we have the FBI and CIA colluded with big tech to suppress that, knowing it would change the outcome of the election. So we felt cheated. We felt that, hey, we're not done here just yet. And then having other people swoop in and be like, yeah, well, I'm just going to take it for myself. That was never going to go well. But we'll go over the video and then I'll comment, because I got a few things to say.
Greetings from Florida. The warmth of being home is a reminder why I've chosen public service. From joining the United States Navy and serving in Iraq, to representing the people in the U.S. Congress, and now serving as governor of Florida. And it reminds me why I decided to run for president, to fight for those who have been forgotten in this country. This is America's time for choosing. We can choose to allow a border invasion, or we can choose to stop it. We can choose reckless borrowing and spending, or we can choose to limit government and lower inflation. We can choose political indoctrination, or we can choose classical education. These choices are symptoms of the underlying struggle to ensure that constitutional government can endure and that Western civilization can survive. And we launched this campaign to bring accountability to government, regain sovereignty at our border, and restore sanity to our society. We cannot succeed as a country if we allow our nation to be invaded, our currency to be debased, our cities to crumble, and our kids to be indoctrinated. The DC elites who facilitated this mess do not care about you, and they do not work for you. They work for themselves. They seek to accumulate power at your expense to pursue an agenda that is harmful to the American people. Citizens do not serve politicians. It is the duty of politicians to serve you. Talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. Reversing the decline of this nation requires leadership that delivers big results for the people we are elected to serve. I have a record of leading with conviction, championing an agenda marked by bold colors, delivering on my promises, and defeating the people who are responsible for our nation's decline. That is the type of leadership we need for all of America. Now, over the past many months, Casey and I have traveled across the country to deliver a message of hope, that decline is a choice, and that we can, in fact, succeed again as a nation. Nobody worked harder, and we left it all out on the field. Now, following our second place finish in Iowa, we've prayed and deliberated on the way forward. If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci, Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over.
Before we begin, I'd like to take time to congratulate Ron DeSantis and, of course, a really terrific person who I've gotten to know, his wife, Casey, for having run a great campaign for president. He did. He ran a really good campaign, I will tell you. It's not easy. They think it's easy doing this stuff, right? It's not easy. But as you know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m., and in so doing, he was very gracious, and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden. We will have to get him out. We have to get him out. He's put our country at great peril, So I just want to thank Ron and congratulate him on doing a very good job. It's a tough situation. Before we begin, I'd like to take time.
You know, he could have gloated. Everyone's like, what's he going to do? Is he going to gloat? Is he going to say the sanctimonious, all that? He could have. But this was the right way to take it. Called him DeSantis. It's weird to actually hear him say DeSantis for the first time. And I don't even know how long. It's been a while. It's been a long while. I was like, I had a double take when I saw that on TV. I'm like, did he just say DeSantis? That's how you know Trump's being serious and he's trying to be humble when he's using his real name. He could have went hard on that, but he didn't. But I agree. I hope they do work together in some sort of fashion. I don't know what that would be. A lot of people are like, "Oh, vice president." I don't know about that. I don't like. Not that I'm doubting Ron's abilities, but I don't know. I think he would be wasted in the VP slot. You know, VPs are mostly used for optics. And well, not just that, but also to set up for 2028. So in that regard, I guess he would be okay because it would get him back in the good graces of Maga, and he would make a strong contender for 2028. But we'll see. I think he's going to pick Ben Carson. That's a huge rumor going around right now. One of the biggest out of all the choices, which I'll be fine with. Ben Carson's a good guy. He's been loyal to Trump for a very long time, so I think overall he would do well, Ben Carson. I would like to see him debate Kamala. He's very smart. He knows what he's talking about, but very slow. You know, not as loud and cackly as Kamala, so I don't know how that debate would go exactly, but I think he would be fine. Obviously, a lot of people looking at some of these polls want to see Vivek, or Vivek, however they say it. I don't know. He would be good. I don't know how many voters he would actually bring over, though. You know what I mean?